Yo, what the fuck is this? A second video? Oh, this close? Well, yeah. I what is it? I really wanted mm, to get out a few of my hot takes about hockey. I have a bunch of these for other topics, but I wanted to start with hockey because I mean, what's the main content on this channel about? What is it? Fucking country music? No, it's about hockey. So this is just a list of 50 hot takes that I have uh, about hockey. Here's the counter to see it's going up like that. Set it back to 0. So we're gonna so we're gonna count off 50 hot takes that I have. Let's go. Start us off. Canadian fans are way too pro-clutchy about their legacy being taken by Euros who are better than them. See also Wayne Gretzky goal record. Don Cherry should never be on network television again. And he is a horrible commentator. He is a really bad commentator, and just I don't like it. I had to turn off my ring light because it was causing too much glare on the counter. But anyway, number 3, Jack Edwards is the most fun play-by-play commentator in the league. And if the other 31 teams had a commentator as fun as Jack Edwards, nobody would be complaining. Everybody deserves to have a homer as their team's commentator. The biggest question in the 2015 draft for the Bruins isn't what could have been with those 3 picks. It's why they didn't make any sort of attempt to move up into the top 5 with them. The 2012 draft is better than you remember, but you only remember because you only remember Nail Yakupov and Griffin Reinhart, because it had Hampus Lindholm, Matt Dumba, Philip Forsberg, Andrei Vasilevsky, Connor Hellebuck, Matt Grizzly. It had a bunch of really good. It had a bunch of really good players that you just don't remember. Tuukka Rask is a Hall of Famer. Fight me about this. The jokes about Toronto being inept in the postseason kind of just detract from the fact that they're genuinely a pretty fun team to watch. Firing Don Sweeney isn't going to fix the Bruins' problems because the problem lies far more with Cam Neely. Because who keeps bringing Sweeney back? It's Neely. Evander Kane has proved that you can play 3-card Monty with defenses by focusing in McDavid and Draisaitl. Who's going to get the puck between them? Who's going to get them? Don't mind Evander Kane just walking into your net. He's only good because he's on a line with 2 of the best players in the entire in recent NHL history. Number 10, the LTIR rules actually make sense. You're just mad that Tampa did it better than anybody else. The Storm Surge is fun, and more teams should have fun traditions like that. Like Seattle did great with the Salmon. I love them. But like more teams should have fun after post game celebrations like that. Pierre Turgeon should be a Hall of Famer. Ovechkin is better than Crosby, but also the Crosby and Ovechkin debate is kind of a bad debate because it puts goal scorers on the same playing field as playmakers. What I mean by that is they're 2 completely different fields. You're not going to put Bergeron on the same like level of is he as good as his job as is David Pastrnak, because one guy's job is to distribute the puck and be a consistent playmaker and sometimes score goals. The other one's job is to score goals and is to score goals and ending the sentence there. Mitch Marner exudes pure lesbian energy. The offsides rules make sense. The cross-checking rules don't. The Matt Duchene trade still doesn't make sense. The Aiden Hill trade still doesn't make sense. The Marc-Andre Fleury trade the Marc-Andre Fleury trade to Chicago still doesn't make sense. It's the Tyler Seguin deal years after the fact still doesn't make sense. It's perfectly okay to hate a team because Tony DeAngelo is on it. Even though he's one of my favorite players of all time, I understand the Marchand hate. Buffalo is going to be really fun to watch in 3 to 5 years. Seattle is going to be really fun to watch in 3 to 5 years. Quinton Byfield is going to be a bust. Kaapo Kakko is going to be a bust. Stellar talent on the ice doesn't stop people from being awful off the ice. NHL66.ir/simulator. This isn't really so much of a hot take so much as it is just use this. I will be putting this link in the description. Use it. It is the best way to watch hockey games is out of your market. Use it. The one redeeming quality about the Vegas Golden Knights is whenever they play Connect 4 on Twitter with the Columbus Blue Jackets. What I mean by that is that whenever the Columbus Blue Jackets and the Vegas Golden Knights play on Twitter, they will usually have like a 7x7 grid or something made up of just white circle emojis and blue and red circle emojis for each team. And just during the entire game, they will be playing Connect 4 with each other on Twitter. It is amazing. The Blues were never going to win that series against the Avalanche anyway. Stop kidding yourself to think that fucking Jordan Binnington was going to backstop you into victory with that. The dude was posting an .899 save percentage. What the fuck did you think was going to happen? Cale Makar wasn't offsides. Jared Spurgeon should have gotten a cross check on and should have gotten a suspension for that cross check on Pavel Buchnevich, and not just a fine. The Bruins were the most pathetic team to make the playoffs between this past season, between the 7-1 loss on the night of the Willie O'Ree power number retirement and the 0-for-39 in power play stretch that spanned almost the entirety of April. Not every big hit deserves a penalty or a whistle. So not every big hit is worthy of the entire team just converging on that one spot to just go to town. People criticizing Seattle for being bad in their first year don't seem to understand that that Vegas was really only good because everybody gave them like 3 first-round picks and half their roster to take guys that they to take dead weight, even though some of that dead weight included Jonathan Marchessault and William Karlsson. I know William Karlsson really hasn't done much since that 40-goal season. But still, well, Vegas was gifted 3 mainstays and several first-round picks to be traded for other other franchise mainstays. Meanwhile, Seattle tried to make trades, but everybody was like, "Yep, we learned our lesson from Vegas. We're going to stand pat and only give you options and only give you the option that we've given you so far. We're not going to trade with you. We know your dirty tricks, Seattle." Well, ESPN has the worst announcers and camera angles. Period. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. They've already renamed the Lester B. Pearson Award to the Ted Lindsay Award. There should be no reason for the NHL to not rename the Frank J. Selke Award to the Patrice Bergeron Award after he retires. The Premier Hockey Federation should be looked at with more respect. Boston hasn't gone 3 years without it. It hasn't gone in 4 years without a title. We've won back-to-back Isobel Cups with the Boston Pride. Also, fuck Boston Pride, but not the hockey organization, but not the hockey club. the gay pride organization. Fuck Boston Pride. Yeah. Yeah. No, no one saying that the Bruins have the worst prospect situation has ever heard about has ever heard of the Vegas Golden Knights. There's not a single goal song in the NHL that can ever compare to Brass Bonanza. The new Flyers goal song sucks in an ironic meme sense. And it's fun to picture the highlight reel of the game being played, and then the caught on iPhone 6 text shows up on screen. That anyway, the top 3 goal songs in the league are Seattle with Lithium at 3, Anaheim with Bro Hymn at 2, and Dallas with Puck Off at 1. It is all goal songs are always better with fan interaction. Like with Seattle with the I like it, let's go crack it, and then and with Anaheim the whoa, whoa, and then with Dallas the Dallas Stars, Dallas Stars. God bless Pantera. The Kraken have the best actual goal horn. The Oilers have the worst actual goal horn. I'm talking like the actual horn that they use. If 2K is going to put their NBA games on Steam, then they should do it with Chell as well. Oh, this is just coming from a disgruntled old fan who wants to who really wants to play Chell on Steam. Also, I just got a notification that the Carolina Panthers have fired their head coach Matt Rule. Honestly, it came to honestly, it's too little, too late. Nikita Kucherov is a super dirty player, but nobody ever acknowledges it because he's too busy being injured all the time. As much as I hate to say it, I feel like Vegas might have won the Eichel trade, but that really just depends on whether or not Peyton Krebs is going to actually play up to his abilities. It could, and hey, those 2 first-round picks could turn into something. But if Jack Eichel is going to be really good, then if Jack Eichel is going to be really good for Vegas, it's sort of one of those things where like you lost the best player in the, you gave up the best player in the trade, and therefore you lost it. Bruins fans hate Matt Grzelcyk too much. And our final hot take of the day: Kadri did nothing wrong. And that's really it for today's episode of the for today. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope the double upload didn't really catch you off guard. Brick. I am 100 bucks, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Take care.